I'm picking the I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm probably gonna wind up picking the. I want to say, where's the game?
In Los Angeles.
Oh, Rams then.
Last year, Colin Kaepernick and Blaine Gabbert were only able to get 2 wins, and both of them were against this Rams team. But that just shows how much Jeff Fisher was, how much a better Chip Kelly was at coaching quarterbacks than Jeff Fisher was.
Who did you pick, by the way, in that last one?
In the Texans Colts game?
No, the Niners-Rams game.
I'm picking the 49ers to win this game because they have San Francisco has a bright future ahead of them.
That sounds awfully similar.
Yeah, I agree with that. So what's the next game?
Okay, this is the first 8 done. So we're gonna do this in next 8 in another video.
I've already tailed it off into the next video. Let's just keep going.
Okay, all right. Next game, Raiders versus Chargers. I mean, if the Chargers make the playoffs this year, they'll be the second ever team to make the playoffs with an 0-4 start, as the San Diego Chargers did it in 1992.
They need a lot to happen, though.
Well, it's either what they need to happen is let me get it up real quick. They need to win, and they need to have the Titans lose, and they either need a Baltimore win or a Buffalo loss, because the reason they would need a Baltimore win is because if Baltimore, Buffalo, and Los Angeles all finished 9-7, then that head-to-head victory over Buffalo wouldn't matter, because both then the Ravens and have it over the Chargers due to a better conference record.
I'm gonna take the Chargers. I think that last game for the Raiders was a throat punch.
I'm picking the Chargers too. What they really should have done, well, not should have, is they couldn't get the job done against the Chiefs. They got swept by them for the 4th consecutive year, 8 straight losses over my Chiefs. It's the Raiders.
Yeah, that's true.
I expected to be really good this year with Marshawn Lynch and Jared Cook with new weapons, but
honestly, I think Marshawn Lynch messed with their identity a bit.
Yeah, but I just hope the Jaguars aren't the same thing as the Raiders, where they have one good year and continue to be bad afterwards.
I agree to that.
I like Derek Carr. Even though he's a rival, I think he's good. The Raiders, they have 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. Donald Penny's out for the season, but I'm still picking the Chargers to win this game.
Aren't there similarities between this murder and the murder of Celine Henry?
All right. Next game is Cardinals versus Seahawks. Russell Wilson at home. He's only since becoming the starter in 2012. He has lost 9 home games. A third of them were by Bruce Arians' Cardinals. And can Bruce Arians pull off one last win before he retires? The Seahawks
guess we'll find out.
And have the Panthers beat Atlanta to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
First time Russell Wilson has missed the playoffs.
Yeah, then the thing is, if they win, they might see the Rams again after what the Rams did to them in Seattle. I don't know if they want to see them again.
Well, they could be either playing the Rams, the Panthers, or the Saints. Because they could be, if the Rams lose and the Saints win, then the Saints will get the 3 seed, the Rams will get the 4 seed. If it's Saints versus Panthers in the playoffs, no matter who's the home team, the Saints have beaten the Panthers twice. So we'll get to them in a minute when we get to them. But yeah, but although I would love to see Bruce Arians get one last win before he retires.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick the Seahawks barely.
Okay, this next game is I'm gonna be so excited for this game. The Chiefs at Denver. Let me say 2 things first. Jamal Charles. Well, he wasn't injury prone this year, but he was complaining about the Broncos not using him a lot. But
severely battered.
Well, unlike Colin Kaepernick, he's accepting a less than $1 million contract. Where Kaepernick, he wants to be a starter, wants $10 million a year, and he refused a $900,000 contract. Jamal might want to come back for the Chiefs if he's willing to accept less than $1 million contract. And then the second thing, Patrick Mahomes is going to make his first career start because the Chiefs have nothing left to play for. They will have the 4th seed in the playoffs. I just want to see how Patrick Mahomes does. When we traded up in the first round, I was hoping we would get Deshaun Watson, but I'd still rather have Deshaun Watson. But I trust Andy Reid with Harp and McNabb and Patrick Mahomes, and he tutored both of those. I'm still picking the Chiefs because Chiefs have. I don't think the Chiefs are going to win a playoff game. If they do, it's going to be pure luck because they have one of the worst defenses. They're giving up too many plays. Or Denver, on the other hand, has a good defense, and they're having just quarterback issues.
Yeah, mold the two together, you have a Super Bowl caliber team.
Use Trevor Siemian, Brock Osweiler right. And Vance Joseph, I don't know if they're going to fire Vance Joseph after one season, but I was thinking that Broncos should have gotten Kyle Shanahan as their coach, but John Elway didn't want another young, unproven coach like Josh McDaniels.
Yeah. I wonder what Denver's gonna do in this draft. I really hope they don't. I really hope that Denver does not draft Josh Allen and start him right away. Cause right now, as I see it, Josh Allen's gonna be a bust. He looks like a bust. He looks unimpressive to me. To me, I still think that Josh Rosen is easily the best quarterback in this draft. Not even close.
Him and Sam Darnold, but both of them could be staying in their senior season to avoid being drafted by the Browns.
I don't know.
Baker Mayfield, he can't do that since he's already a senior.
Yeah, but and I think Darno needs to come back to school anyway. I think he needs to go back. He's still got touch-up work to do. What's the next game?
I think that too. Josh Rosen, he could develop more under Chip Kelly.
What's the next game?
The next game is. Oh wait, who are you picking in that game?
I said Chiefs. I said Chiefs.
Okay, the next game, Saints and Buccaneers. This game. Do not expect, this game will not be a blowout because the Buccaneers' last 2 games were all close ones. Tampa Bay has just had several problems with their kickers. They've lost so many games just because of a missed field goal. Like on that Monday night 2 weeks ago, they could have sent it in overtime if they would have.
That was a long kick, though. That wasn't like some cheapy kick. That was a 54-yard kick, which is some difficulty.
If they would have made that field goal last week against Carolina, Carolina only would have tied it up unless they would have went for 2. How lucky was that for Cam Newton? He scored on a fumble rooski.
Was a woman, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Around about my 3rd divorce, I realized.
Yeah, true.
Fumble rooski.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers have had injuries upon injuries upon injuries.
Yeah, but the Buccaneers. From the NFC South, I kind of knew the Panthers. I figured the Panthers would rebound after that disappointing 6-10 season last year. I knew that Atlanta would still want to play for revenge after that blowing that lead in the Super Bowl. I thought the Buccaneers would be where the Saints are right now. The Saints would be where the Buccaneers are right now. Their problem is their offensive line and their play calling. If they're not going to fire Dirk Trotter, then give the play calling to someone else, like how Andy Reid did Matt McVay.
Matt Nagy, yeah. I'm going to pick the Saints.
Yeah, I'm picking the Saints too, but this game, I'm expecting this game to be a nail-biter because this is a division game, and the Buccaneers were just lost by 3 points in 2 games. Well, they lost by 4 points against the Panthers. Both came down to a game missing a field goal.
All right, what's the next game?
The NFC South game. If Atlanta would have won against New Orleans, then I think this game would have been the Sunday night game for this week. But There's not going to be a Sunday night game this week because there's no there's no game to decide the division. Although if New Orleans did win, well, actually, never mind. I'm picking the Falcons to win this game because I think Falcons did beat the Saints on Thursday Night Football, but the Saints were angry. They felt like they should have won that game. And really, they should. But Sean Payton was all they had to do was rush Ingram. Even though Karama was injured in that game, all they had to do was rush Ingram, and then have Drew Brees throw a touchdown at the end, and they would have won it. They would have the division.
True.
They could be 13-3. They could have been just like in 2011.
Atlanta is playing Carolina.
13-3 record.
I'm gonna take the Falcons as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons because it's probably gonna be like this is the playoff. This is the NFC wildcard round. Saints or Panthers and Rams or Falcons.
He's been out looking for Mom.
Who would you take, the Saints or Panthers, or in Rams or Falcons?
Can we come
Saints.
So?
Okay. Wait, Panthers and Saints are playing each other, so you're picking the Saints over the
Do you have a
Panthers?
seat for me?
Yep, and I'm gonna pick the Rams.
Rams, okay. There's only 3 games left. This next game, Bengals versus Ravens. I'm still going to pick Baltimore, but Marvin Lewis is finally going to quit. Like, after 15 years of mediocrity, 0-7 in the playoffs, worst playoff record of all time. But on the bright side, the Bengals have won 5 of the last 7 against the Ravens. So, if Marvin Lewis could still pull off one last upset,
I'm gonna pick the Ravens.
that's the team who the Chiefs are probably going to play in the playoffs.
Probably the same one snatched from her body.
Yeah, the Ravens could be a tough out in the playoffs.
Yeah, they could be a tough, but there's only. Wow, let me look at this one more time. There's only the Ravens. Majority of the Ravens wins were against sub 500 teams, and I think the only good team they beat was. The only team with a winning record they beat was well, they did beat Miami when Miami was 4-2.
He's trying to find her.
Actually 4-3 or something, and they're not.
Your mother is dead.
I guess Baltimore's only win against a good team, like a team with a winning record, was Detroit.
You could answer a few questions for us?
Well, that has a winning record right now because they didn't look impressive versus Indianapolis, and they can beat
Some of your mother's jewelry was missing.
3-1 against Ohio teams, get swept by Pittsburgh, and they lost to Tennessee, they lost to Chicago, they lost to Jacksonville and London. So that's on the bright side of it. The Ravens would have. I mean, the bright side the Chiefs would have against facing the Ravens.
True.
We're both picking the Ravens. So.
What's next?
Okay, what was that?
What's next?
Next game is Bills and Miami for this. Bills need to win, and let me see what else happened. Wait, hold on. Hold on a second.
Yesterday afternoon.
So they need to win and have Baltimore to lose, or they need to win and have Tennessee and LA both to lose.
What did you do then?
Like,
I was upset.
I was thinking it can't come down to where
So you were hanging around
actually it could come down to like Los Angeles getting the 6th seed over Buffalo because Sean McDermott, he started Nathan Peterman in that game against the
Mom and
Chargers.
Dad are
True.
I'm picking Buffalo to win because Miami, like,
Of course they are.
good win this year was, well, they did beat the Falcons. They did beat both of last year's Super Bowl teams, but Tom Brady, he has an inner Jeff Fisher in Miami. He's 7-9 there. I guess, is it because of the humidity, or is he not, is it too far down south for him? But that's where Tom Brady has a losing record in. Miami, 7-9, Denver 4-7, Kansas City 1-2,
Daddy, the
and
police
Charlotte 1-2.
True. I don't know. Maybe just some places just there's just an enigma. I'm gonna take the Bills.
Jets are 0-10 all time against the Eagles, and Pittsburgh, they have not won in Philadelphia since like 1966, I think, around that year. Some places have bad luck in certain cities. Like when the Bengals played the Broncos earlier this season, it was the Bengals' first win in Denver in 40 since the 70s.
What size shoe do you
Doesn't
wear?
mean if there's a streak going on right now. It doesn't mean it'll last forever. I don't know.
Who you
Streak,
picking?
no drought, no record lasts forever.
Who you picking?
It's like the streak and the Royals
Why are you lying
drought.
to me, Mr. Moller?
Supposed to win this game. Like,
Why would I lie to you at a time like this?
who are you picking?
I picked the Bills.
Okay. Lost one last thing about before the final game.
Found here a size 8.
Which was worse?
Why
Chip
lie
Kelly
about it?
trading
You got nothing to
LaShawn
hide.
McCoy for Kiko
Because I
Alonso,
always get teased
or
about
Miami
the size of
agreeing to trade Jay Ajayi for a fourth-round draft pick?
Always been true in my experience.
Both are pretty bad if you ask me, but it seems like, yeah, I think, I mean, Kenyon Drake hasn't been too bad for Miami. I mean, you should think about it that way.
No, but Jay Ajayi, he was their power back. He was their best, their second best player on offense. And they agreed to get rid of him for like a bag of chips.
Essentially, yeah.
Have a second or third round pick, but they could have easily asked for more, like a fourth round draft pick and a second round for 2019.
Yeah, I think, yeah, Miami got sussed on that one.
Yeah, okay. This last game could be a Warriors versus Titans. I saw that Doug Marrone was playing to win the game because Jacksonville, there's only 13 players on that roster. I looked it up, 13 players that have been in a playoff game, and some of them were just backups for some people. Like Chad Haney was Chad Pennington's backup in the Miami Baltimore playoff game in 2008, 2009.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because they're gonna get.
This could be perfect if the Titans win this game and get in the playoffs. Then Jacksonville will.
I was driving around.
Well, the bad news is, you know what happened the last time the Jaguars had a home playoff game in 1999, where they went against the Titans and 15-0 against everyone. Was it 15-0 against everyone else?
Yeah, true.
But then the Jaguars, there's only been 4 teams to my knowledge that have been swept by a divisional rival in the regular season, but beat that team in round 3 in the postseason. 1969 Chiefs, 1998 Cardinals, 2004 Vikings, and the 2007 Giants. So, another thing, these two teams I think could be great rivals years to come because they have split the regular season meeting every year since 2009, and
Getting hostile with us.
keep this team back in week 2 in Jacksonville. But
I'm picking the Jaguars.
And then present yourself to Central.
yeah, I'm picking the Jaguars too. But I hope this Jaguars team isn't like the Raiders team where they have one good year and suck afterwards. I want this.
Don't make me change my mind.
Like I didn't want the Jaguars to move like somewhere, but
All
I
right.
want this to be a good rivalry. But all right, that's all we're doing. We'll do another one for a wild card picks, interdivisional
All
round
right.
picks.
You want to sign off?
We only need to do conference championship and Super Bowl.
All right. You want to sign off?
Yep. Until next time, everyone. My name is Green Draco 313.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna. Oh, wow. That was quite a video. Alright, so I guess with that, this has been Dark Kirby 14. We'll see you next time on more LA Noire.